Have you ever been told that others don't have free will and that you can manifest anyone, regardless of their desires, into your life? That dangerous distortion of Neville Goddard's teachings has spread like wildfire in the spiritual community, causing heartbreak, toxic obsessions, and frankly, misunderstanding of how the law truly works. Today, we're putting an end to the misinformation. If you've ever struggled with trauma bonds or unhealthy attachments, this episode will be a wake up call. Let's untangle the truth from the myths and learn how to work with the law from a place of love, freedom, and respect for others. A lot of people cherry pick Neville Goddard's teachings, taking sound bites out of context and twisting them into solipsistic beliefs like no one else has free will. This false narrative leads to manipulation, obsession, and emotional pain, especially in the specific person community. Some try to force relationships or outcomes believing it's just manifestation. But here's the truth: love is freedom, not control. Neville never taught us to override someone else's desire or agency. In fact, his teachings emphasize that each of us has sovereignty in our own consciousness. Others cannot impose their will on you unless you accept it, and vice versa. This isn't just about relationships. This misunderstanding has ripple effects. When we approach the law with ego and manipulation, it creates resistance, not only in our personal lives, but also in the collective consciousness. Wars, division, and even environmental disasters are all symptoms of humanity's rebellion against universal principles like love, harmony, and interconnectedness. Let's ground the discussion in Neville's own words. On free will in consciousness. This excerpt comes to you from Your Faith is Your Fortune. Free will is the only freedom of choice. Choose ye this day whom ye shall serve is your freedom to choose the kind of mood to assume, but the expression of the mood is the secret of automation. Here, Neville explains that free will exists in choosing your state of consciousness. No one can force their desires onto you unless you adopt their assumptions as your own. You'll always have the freedom to decide who you want to be. On rejecting unwanted influence, this excerpt comes from The Power of Awareness. You are free to choose the concept you will accept of yourself. Therefore, you possess the power of intervention, the power which enables you to alter the course of events, the power to interfere with the fulfillment of undesirable predictions. This means you are never a victim of someone else's manifestation. You have the power to reject any influence that does not align with your chosen self-concept. On sovereignty of imagination, this comes from the law and the promise. Man is all imagination. Therefore, man must be where he is in imagination. For his imagination is himself. Imagination is not subject to causation. Your imagination is the ultimate authority in your reality. No one else's imagination can control you unless you allow it. On protecting what is yours, this comes from the power of awareness. No man can take from you what is yours. No man can rob you of what is yours. But what is yours must first be claimed by you. If someone is imagining you into their life against your will, their attempts has no power unless you accept it. So what's the solution? How do we honor free will, practice the law, and cultivate love without manipulation? First step, work on your self-concept. If you're chasing someone who doesn't want to be with you, ask yourself, what part of me feels unworthy of love that I'm clinging to someone who isn't choosing me? Shift your focus inward. When you embody the version of yourself who feels whole, loved, and secure, You will naturally attract experiences and people that reflect that state. Step 2. Respect others' autonomy. Love is freedom. It honors people as they are, not as you want them to be. When you try to force someone into your life, it creates resistance and often leads to unhealthy dynamics. Instead, wish them well, release the attachment, and trust that what is truly meant for you will find you. Third, trust the bigger picture. The law works in harmony with the universal love. When you stop trying to control outcomes and instead align with your highest self, life brings you what is best, not just what your ego thinks it wants. The takeaway? Neville's teachings are about empowerment, not control. They remind us that the true work is internal, shifting our own state of consciousness. And while we can influence others through love and imagination, we can never override their free will. To do so would violate the very principles of the law. Healing trauma bonds and unhealthy attachments isn't easy, but it is necessary. By focusing on self love and embodying the version of yourself that is truly free, you attract relationships that reflect respect, joy, and harmony. If you've been chasing a specific person or struggling to reconcile the law with your experiences, I encourage you to take a step back and reflect. What are you really seeking? Love, freedom, or control? When you master the law, you realize it's never about the other person, it's about you. Free will exists, and love always honors it. It's funny how I always find that those people who don't know what love is are the ones that are trying to control and manipulate others. Hence why love is running away. Thank you for joining me today. If this episode resonated, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're ready to dive deeper into manifesting a life of true freedom and love, check out my guided meditations linked in the description or book sessions with me on my Bridge to Self Mastery site. Until next time, remember, love is freedom and freedom is your birthright. Namaste.